I think if I went trans, do you think people would be surprised if I was got like the hormones and the breasts?
I think they would feel like they were getting duped into paying attention to you somehow.
See, that's
they
the
would be
thing.
annoyed.
I think everybody would know that it's like, oh, he's just like,
Oh God!
I see the PR potential. Let's put it that way.
We watched Lady Ballers with
we
the
did
ROTC
watch Lady
guys. It's available. It was recorded in a way that I don't feel comfortable with posting to our Patreon. So
Well,
I'll just put it that way.
I might post it on my Patreon.
Okay.
My Patreon sucks. Dick was like, let's not put it on our Patreon because
I said
it's
I
not
refuse,
recorded
'cause
in the
it's not-
most
It's recorded with the track of the
ethical
movie. And I said,
way.
that's not.
There's going to be a way for you guys to get it, I assume. If you know what?
Maybe the
I'm not
worst
even gonna say
movie
where you
ever
can get
made.
it. Lady Ballers was...
Made me happy that cancer exists.
It was surprisingly bad, again, because Ben Shapiro is Jewish, and I would assumed he would have explained basic story structure to them.
He's like an accounting Jew, though. They split him very. They have very strong sexual Jewish dimorphism. Among men.
I'm definitely seeing that Ben Shapiro is an accounting Jew who wanted to be a storytelling Jew. But, and he watched all the other storytelling Jews have fun.
So you can go the other way. You can be a storytelling Jew and become an accountant. It's like, where'd the money go, Bernie Madoff? Oh, man, you're never going to believe this. There I was, walking down the street, Twin Towers, falling down. Jerry Seinfeld comes over, he's fucking a 17-year-old. I said, wow, whoa, oy vey. Like, man, fucking someone's housewife, money's great, thank you. But the
great Jewish
accountant Jew
storytellers,
going to the storytelling.
Bernie Madoff is at the top of that list.
Was he Jewish?
I don't
mean, come on.
But he was a great storyteller, and he was good at getting
At a
that
certain
money.
point, you do so much crime that it's respectable again. You're Italian. I'm talking?
Thank you.
Come on, I'm
Thank
bringing
you.
sand to the beach here.
Thank you.
I'm bringing fucking Capicola
See,
to
I
the
became one of
mafia over here.
Exactly. I became one of the storytelling Italians, which are not nearly as successful as the mobster ones.
When did you become a storytelling Italian?
Well, once I launched my hit comic book Super Killer.
Let's get a counter.
Currently
Let's get a
available
counter.
on
How long does it
Indiegogo.
take for the first Super Killer
Oh,
plug?
shut up.
12 minutes. That was 12 minutes and 43 seconds. Lady Ballers was it was the story, the narrative was terrible, was contrived and somehow behind the audience at all times. It was incomplete. It was horribly acted and it was horribly lit, directed, and edited. The editing was the most offensive part of a movie that was a failure at every single level.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was terrible. I hope Hamas wins. After seeing the movie, it was so bad. It was so bad.
Yeah.
That it makes it impossible to. It makes me hate America. It was so bad that something like this could happen under capitalism.
The editing was not as tight as it should have been. I wonder if I don't know what the runtime was, but that movie felt like
it felt like it was a year and a half.
Yeah. And how do you fuck up a sports movie was my question. So I'm like, either they got to win. Why do they got to? Why? Whatever.
I thought Balls of Fury was the worst movie I've ever seen, but it was Lady Ballers.
Lady Ballers was very bad for a number of reasons.
It made me support trans people more. I already did, but I support them more.
I enjoyed our commentary, and we'll find some way.
It made me support trans kids.
I'm sure that commentary will get to people not through our official channels because we do not engage in any sort of piracy or.
I don't want to say that.
There is no piracy.
There is no piracy.
Point is that there is a commentary track somewhere.
Use.
And we're not sure.
Patreon.com/biggest problem to not see the Lady Ballers commentary.
And I'm sure nobody in the Discord or anything will have any sort of link for you ever. And that's the bottom line.
Easily the worst movie ever made. Worse than any Kirk Cameron movie. Complete dog shit. I hope Jeremy Boring gets cancer from how bad that movie was. Or at least leukemia.
Okay, so the worst, maybe, I don't know if I can say the worst part, but just the fact that they had to put a Jeremy's Razors plug into the movie.
And a She-Her chocolate.
And a She-Her chocolate bar. And I'm like, guys, the movie was an advertisement for the Dailywire. The end credit scene was, you know how like in Marvel, it's like, oh, here's Thanos. Oh, Ant-Man's going to be in the next one. The end credit scene was Jordan Peterson.
No,
mid-credit scene. That was what you're supposed to be amped about.
And he was just
Matt
like,
Walsh was
the joke of that movie is like just guys who are just total members of the LGBT community, just going like, oh man, oh god, I'm so like put out and concerned by this.
Yeah,
like just being total cucks. Like stuff's happening, they're like, oh man, that's so. Oh, Jordan Peterson just sitting there. Oh wow. Yeah, that's why this is happening to you guys.
It's like
You don't ever say
it's weird
anything.
to see a comedy that has like the bones of like one of these 90s sports comedies.
Yeah.
So it feels
Like
familiar. And you're like, wait, I thought these had like jokes, you know? Like,
Better Off Dead. Yeah.
I thought these had like kind of characters that you wanted to root for or who were likable in any way.
The writing was so bad.
Someone needed to step in and be like, you don't have a premise. Like, what is the premise? What if guys played basketball against ladies? Why? For what reason? To accomplish what?
Yeah, why are they doing it?
For
to like win their wives
money,
back?
I
Like the
think?
full Monty?
Yeah.
You know, rip that off.
Well, it was obviously
Save a rec center, like that's
Right.
Kitschy and funny.
Why is his
to
kid
save
there?
a men's center, to save a VFW, like our VFW is being
that's
taken
good,
over
yeah.
by a fucking battered woman's shelter. We gotta raise enough money to save the VFW.
You've
Like
saved
it's
that
a simple
movie.
shit,
Yeah.
Jeremy. Jeremy, you fucking idiot.
Instead, they made it that they had to save women. So the movie is both about women's sports are stupid and dumb because they
But we
make a
have to
bunch of those
protect
jokes,
them.
and also we have to protect them
'Cause
at
my
all
daughter
costs
is a woman.
against these filthy trans people. And I'm like,
And
hold on,
And
wait.
two guys on my team are double penetrating and impregnating
Yeah.
a lady basketball player who's inexplicably hot.
You have to pick a theme for the movie, and if the movie is women's sports are stupid, do that. But then the moral of the movie can't be actually women's sports are great, and we have to get all these men out of there, which isn't funny. Wow, what a mess that was! I can think about that movie all day.
It was so gross and bad.
They actually called
I'd
their
rather
team
see
the
someone
Lady
get killed.
Ballers. That was a joke that made it all the way to the screen.
Yeah.
What should the name of the funny trans basketball team be called? Well, they're called the Lady Ballers because they have testicles.
Matt Walsh
And,
and Candace Owens played themselves at the end of the movie. I liked Candace Owens before seeing that. Now I can't.
Well, can't agree with you there.
She was fine.
You know what?
I liked her. I wouldn't spit on her. If I saw her now, spit.
Matt Walsh was almost believable as a stupid hippie, but they didn't give him any good lines. So what's
Yeah.
the point?